Okay, hello everybody. Hello, and welcome to our last installment of this women's series. And I hope to have all of our Zooms recorded in the next week and send them all out to you. I know I've been a little late on that. But today we are talking about sleep. This is our seventh and last installment. We're talking about sleep, which is near and dear to all of us. We all know that if we don't get enough sleep, everything goes to pot, including our health, our mental well-being, our joie de vivre for every day, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm bringing you some tips today on how to have better sleep and where CBD fits in to all of that. So first of all, I sent everybody else an outline, and I'll put that up on the screen in just a minute. But I want to explain to you two things first. First of all, where CBD comes from, which is the hemp plant or the marijuana plant. Both these plants look exactly alike. They smell exactly alike. If you were to smoke a hemp plant, it would smell like you're smoking pot. You just would not get high. So the hemp plant only has CBD in it. It does not have THC in it. And the marijuana plant has a lot of THC in it and a little bit of CBD in it. And what you find out there in the world is a lot of marketing by the dispensaries. And their dispensary is nothing like the CBD that we get from hemp, okay? So whatever you can get in the dispensary, you cannot get at greenalleycbd.com by law. The dispensary has way too much THC in it. So by law, I can only sell hemp products, which cannot get you high and cannot get you dizzy. They do affect the brain, and I've gone into that before in our anxiety class, but as we know, CBD affects this, what we call endocannabinoid system. And that endocannabinoid system is a big system in our body that supports the immune system. Well, it also supports our endocrine, or our hormones, and then of course our nervous system. And what all of those are communicated with are these things called neurotransmitters. And neurotransmitters are chemicals that are brought to and from the brain from different parts of the body. And CBD, when we start using the CBD, will start to upregulate or strengthen the neurotransmitter system. So when we talk about sleep, the neurotransmitters that we're specifically talking about, serotonin and melatonin. So melatonin is the chemical that we produce in the body that allows us to fall asleep. And then serotonin is the molecule that we also produce in the body that lets us stay asleep. So they're both very much interconnected. They're interconnected with the endocannabinoid system. And as we start to awaken this endocannabinoid system with CBD, we can begin to start to balance these neurotransmitters, okay? And I'm going to go into some of the reasons why we are waking up in the middle of the night. And we've covered a lot of this stuff in some of my other talks, but I'm going to highlight it because, as you know, everything we take in, whether it's chemicals, energy, athletics, or food, is affecting our sleep. And the number one thing that affects our sleep is stress. So I'm going to go over a couple of cool little techniques that we can use when we wake up in the middle of the night or we can't go to sleep at bedtime, that we can use to help us calm down the nervous system and calm down our brain. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me see, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to look at some helpful hints. All right, so let me see. Okay, so you see my helpful hints. A lot of us have to use a CPAP machine, for instance, or get congestion in the middle of the night, you know, get this this mucus in the throat, or the head and the face and the sinuses all clog up. Okay, congestion can come from your pillow. Hello, we spend 30% of our life in bed, so your pillow, your mattress need to be cleaned. Okay, throw it in the dryer for a month and that'll at least kill any of the mites. But you should really be replacing your pillow at least once a year. I don't, I have to admit, but I have in the last 2 years, and I would highly encourage everybody to change their pillow. Look at the latex. Most of us are allergic to latex. So your mattress, your pillow, you don't want that to have latex. And most mattresses today are made, and pillows are made with fire retardant. They've got fire retardant, so they are flame resistant. Huge toxic chemical. So if you can try to get natural, organic wool, I've tried a wool pillow and they actually flatten after about a year, but they were very comfortable, and I know they're very healthy for you. Okay, the next thing are food sensitivities. If you are sensitive to a certain food group like dairy or conventional meat that is not organic, or vegetable oil, for me, it's pasta and bread, and beer. The grains in beer that beer is made out of, I will wake up in the middle of the night feeling like I've got a lot of phlegm in my throat. And I wake up in the morning and I'm, you know, that means I ate something wrong for my body the night before. So start making a log of the things that that might be waking you up with congestion, and start getting them out of your body. Hydration is huge for those of us over 50. Everything starts to work less effectively, less efficiently. So we've got to add in more water, at least 8 glasses a day. That's a lot. 64 ounces is a lot. And if you're drinking a ton of water and you're just peeing out a bunch of water and it's not very dark urine, then you've got to add electrolytes to the water, to your diet, because you're not absorbing the water because you don't have enough electrolytes. You know, all of the athletes, they use Gatorade. Well, Gatorade is just an absolutely dumb electrolyte drink. It's full of sugar, and you know, but the best electrolyte drink you can drink is coconut water. And also, now that summer is here, watermelon has great trace minerals and electrolytes. And then the last thing, of course, is CBD. How does CBD help congestion? Well, congestion is the body's way of taking the neurotoxin, or that toxin in the food, and encapsulating it with mucus. So we will spit it out, and that's how we get rid of our toxins, is we spit it out. So when you take CBD, CBD is an anti-inflammatory, and it's also a detoxifier. So it helps with the mucus buildup, and it will help detox or push those toxins out into the urine, okay? Which is really what we want. We don't want the toxins to hang around. The other thing. Okay, we don't want the toxins to hang around. All right. Basics to-dos. We have to eliminate the EMFs, and you're going to see a lot of books, a lot of people will be talking, researchers are talking about the electromagnetic frequencies. These electromagnetic frequencies are the big cell towers that they put by the schools. Of course they do here in the United States. In Europe, they don't allow cell phone towers to be by the schools. In fact, they don't allow Wi-Fi also to be around the elementary schools, because EMFs not only affect us as we're trying to sleep, it greatly affects the children because they're growing so quickly. Also, who does EMFs affect? Autistic kids, people, kids with any type of learning disability have a really hard time with EMFs. They don't realize it, but if they go into a room that's got tons of Wi-Fi and TVs and blah, 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 they'll start acting up. They'll start getting a little wild, a little crazy, a little wild and, loud. And it's the same with us. Our nervous system goes, what? And so if we have a TV, unplug the TV. If you have your cell phone, unplug or turn off the cell phone. If you absolutely positively have to use your cell phone, then put it on airplane mode. Okay. Okay. We're gonna look at doing whiteout shades, and why I say that is because we all are programmed to wake up with the sun, and if you want to wake up with the sun, great. It's a great way to. It's a really great way to reset your circadian rhythm. But those of us who want to sleep in a little longer, whiteout shades, because the third thing, this pineal gland, it's our third eye. I don't know if you've ever heard of the chakra. It's the sixth chakra right between the two eyes. That pineal gland is what's important for these neurotransmitters. And by the way, when you go into the hospital and they want to take your temperature and they put it right up to their pineal gland, the EMFs in that pineal gland, or the EMFs in that temperature reading device, is not good for your pineal gland. So instead, have them take your temperature on the wrist. They don't have to take it on the forehead. Frankly, if you do a temperature test on 10 foreheads, you're going to get 10 different numbers, and most of them are false positives anyway. So it's just a really, I think, ineffective way to see if you're healthy or if you have COVID. Okay, so the pineal gland, the third eye. The other thing we got here is wear an eye mask. Okay, earplugs. Those things, you wouldn't believe how great, how much they help. Reducing your temperature in the room by 10 degrees. And then sticking to a consistent bedtime. What they have found is that our body is rigged to go to sleep by 10:30 and to have our healing sleep between 11 and 2, okay, 2 in the morning. If you get up and you're worried about what you got to do the next day, then journal a little bit before you go to bed. Write down something, not on your computer, not on your iPhone, but actually write physically in a journal. And then when we talk about CBD, so 30% of us need to take CBD at bedtime. Some need CBD during the day, and then some need THC or even magnesium at night. Myself, I do not need I don't need CBD at bedtime. For me, CBD is a little bit uplifting. And so if I want, like if I have played soccer that day and I want pain relief in the middle of the night, then I'll take a capsule with, say, turmeric. And that CBD capsule won't get through my system for an hour, and then it's going to stay in my system for 3 or 4 hours. So I like to take capsules at bedtime. For those of you who run high energy during the day, or in fight or flight, have chronic pain or chronic anxiety, then you're going to need to take CBD during the day, okay? CBD during the day. Then when you get ready to go to bed, your body is relaxed because it has not been in that fight or flight all day long. And that's important. If we can get you out of your fight or flight all day long, then your body can be relaxed enough to fall asleep at bedtime, okay? Magnesium is another supplement that is excellent for sleep, and most of us, again, are deficient. And I'm going to talk about another, 2 other supplements right here now, omega-3s. Okay, so omega-3s, especially for us women, over 50. When we go through menopause, we lose our hormones, which are our energy. That's our energy. So we've got to start supplementing with omega-3s. That's fish oil. And the omega-3 specifically that we want is DHA and EPA. DHA and EPA. And that is actually spelled out on the back of the label. And that's what you want, DHA and EPA. I'm an athlete. I'm almost 60, and I need 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams of omega-3s. And when I added omega-3s to my CBD regimen, it helped with my pain. The reason is DHA is actually converted into CBD in the body. And little did I know, I didn't have enough omega-3s in my body, and all the CBDs I was putting in wasn't going to work because I didn't have enough omega-3s. So omega-3s are huge. And the other supplement for sleep and inflammation is vitamin D3 plus K2. Vitamin K2 is in charge of putting calcium into the bones, and vitamin D is in charge of reducing the inflammation in our body. Omega-3s reduce the inflammation in the body. CBD reduce the inflammation in the body, and also can increase the inflammation in the body when we get a virus or a bacteria or a pathogen that we're trying to kill. The endocannabinoid system will increase the inflammatory cytokines to kill that pathogen. So the CBD actually has the ability to modulate. That means the CBD through the endocannabinoid system can actually increase when we need it to and decrease inflammation when we need it to. Okay? Any questions so far? I don't see anything on the chat. Okay. So CBD during the day, it's going to make you feel grounded and focused. It does not make you feel tired. Your body knows that your circadian rhythm is nighttime. And at nighttime, that CBD is going to make you tired, or it's going to fight inflammation. The body knows what to do with the CBD. The endocannabinoid system will use it in the way that it needs to. Okay. And let's see. Oh, and then, so here's a big thing. Let me go back down to the bottom. So, or the top, I should say. So, hidden things that keep us up, EMFs, a blue or red light. So I actually have there's a lot of machines that have these red lights or blue lights. Those are hitting your pineal gland and keeping you up. So put a piece of tape over them or something. So as I was telling you, CBD regulates the neurotransmitters, serotonin and melatonin. And if you start taking CBD every day, twice a day, consistently, you will start to regulate these neurotransmitters as well. So probably about 2 years ago, I would get up between 2 and 4. I was a insomniac, always had insomnia. And when I started taking CBD, I noticed that I would still get up, but I could fall back asleep. And just lately, I've noticed that I started using an EMF eliminator. And I have this on the link that I sent you all. It's a little, let me see if I can show can you see myself? Can you see me? I'll stop screen sharing. Okay, so it's a little pyramid, and it's got some copper in it, or actually I think it's copper, and then titanium, and then something called organite. Organite is a anti-EMF crystal. It's a type of crystal, and these are not organic. These are old, ancient crystals from India. And I don't know, I just found out about it. I put one under my bed, and lo and behold, I started sleeping through the night. So I didn't get up again. So Uh, who knows? I try everything and anything. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is my favorite bedtime CBD is called Good Night, and it has melatonin in it. It's 2 milligrams of melatonin. You don't want to start taking anything more than 2 to 3 milligrams of melatonin, because then you're going to stop your own body's melatonin production. So you don't want to take large amounts of melatonin. And then the other thing I have found which is a new product, this is called Body Comfort, and it's great for joint pain. So after a day or 2 days of soccer, my joints in the middle of the night will start to hurt if I've eaten something bad like pasta. And so I will take this Body Comfort. It's a new product. It's got boswellia, which is excellent for joint health. Okay. And then the last thing I have is Calm. And this is also a capsule. If you'd rather do the capsule than the tinctures, the Calm has ashwagandha in it. And ashwagandha, as we know, calms our hormones and calms these neurotransmitters that are like wah, 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 wah. So that's another nice CBD product. Again, if you don't want to take the tincture. So we used to have the Daily Balance, and then the company stopped producing the big jar of Daily Balance. But what they came out with instead is the Everyday Rapid Reset. So now it's a completely different label, completely different name, and it's a little bit more effective, a little bit quicker onset. And I find that the taste is better. I've had one client who does not like the taste. It's a much lighter, white, kind of milkier substance rather than that really thick, gloppy oil that we had to work with before. So I find that excellent. So there you go. So again, I'll do the tincture during the day. Again, during the day, it's going to keep you grounded and focused. And at nighttime, it's going to calm the body. And that's kind of the difference. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. And then we're gonna see. So we went over the daytime, fight or flight, right? Okay. Most of us over the age of 50 have to get up and go pee. And part of that is because we're eating or drinking way too late in the evening. You want to stop any alcohol, any food 3 hours before the bedtime. So if you're going to bed at 10, your last food intake should be at 7 o'clock. Now, celery is a really, really fibrous vegetable, but it also sucks in the fluids. So try 5 pieces of celery before you go to bed to soak up any extra fluid. And then if you're getting up like 2 and 3 times a night, if you have to eat 2, 3, 4 times a day, or you feel dizzy, then you have something called insulin resistance. That means you've been eating too many carbs and too much sugar. And in order to get rid of that insulin resistance, you have to start doing intermittent fasting. Reduce your carbs, reduce your sugar, and start intermittent fasting, which is basically, in the beginning, you eat at a 16-hour window, or you sleep in a 16-hour window, and you eat in an 8-hour. 16 and 8 is 24. So 16 hours you don't eat, 8 hours you eat. And then you move to 20 and 4. And then you can also move to not eating for a whole 24 hours. You can do that once, once a month. And if you do that once a month, it's excellent. It's excellent for cancer patients because it increases our stem cells. It increases our body's ability to detox. And it also resets our metabolism. So start out, if you really can't deal with not eating 4 or 5 times a day, then you got to start out with 16 hours off and 8 hours on, and then work up to 20 hours on, 20 hours off, and 4 hours of an eating window. And you can do that 20 and 4 your whole life. You could do it twice a week. You can do it once a month, whatever you can do, but you've got to reset your metabolism and start getting your body to use more fats than just looking for the carbohydrates and the sugar. Okay? CBD also helps with cravings, interestingly enough. It also helps with, again, like we said, the neurotransmitters. All of this is going to help give you a much more balanced sleep. And of course, when you balance the nervous system, the neurons in the deep brain are not going wah, 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 right? So CBD helps filter all that noise out, okay? Filters out the urges. If you consistently take your CBD, you reduce your carbs, you reduce your sugar, you're not going to have these huge sugar cravings at night, carbohydrate cravings at night. Increase your omega-3s and increase, for us women, we actually usually need to increase our protein intake, okay? So again, if pain is keeping you up, then you've got to increase your CBD during the day, take your CBD capsules at night, and again, your omega-3s and your vitamin D. And I'm gonna say, I get this question all the time: what should our vitamin D level be? Where do we find it? How do we get it tested? It's a blood test. Your doctor should be testing your vitamin D, especially in light of COVID. There's many, many studies out now in the last year that have shown those who are most affected by COVID have low vitamin D levels. And I can't tell you how many 20-somethings have very low vitamin D, okay? Most of us, as we get older, we stop converting the sun on our skin into vitamin D, so we need to supplement. 10 years ago, you can see how tan I am. I'm very tan. I'm out in the sun all the time. I was a swimmer growing up as a kid. I played a lot of rugby, and then I played a lot of soccer. I'm always out in the sun. We're always going to the beach, and I was highly deficient in vitamin D 10 years ago. So I started taking this vitamin D3 plus K2, which is extremely important to have K2 because that's what puts the calcium into the bones. If you take in more vitamin D, you're going to add more calcium. And this is the pill. It's a teeny little pill. It's very small. It's got it's got 10,000 units of vitamin D, and it's got like 20 micrograms of K. It's a small amount of vitamin K, but that vitamin K is extremely important. If you know anybody with parathyroid issues, calcium issues, it's because they don't have enough vitamin K2. All right. And then also your omega-3s, your DHA, find something that says molecularly distilled. I don't know where it says it on here. It says it on the back, but it says molecularly distilled. And when it says molecularly distilled, we know that that fish oil is from fish that does not have mercury. We're really concerned about mercury in our fish oil. And frankly, we're concerned about mercury in our CBD. So when we look at our CBD, we need something that has been third-party tested, so there's no mercury in it. So the question I have, can we use the tincture and the good night? Absolutely. Absolutely. I take the tincture during the day. I take 6 squirts of the tincture during the day, in the morning 6, and around dinner time 6, and then I will take the good night capsule right before I go to bed, and that has melatonin in it. I don't have a problem falling asleep, so I take it right before I go to bed. if you have a problem falling asleep, then take the good night capsules about an hour before you go to bed. Okay? Let's see. I think that's it. The magnesium, hugely important too to take. I don't think I have that supplement here with me, but Designs for Health, Standard Process, even Now Foods, Whole Foods usually has some good brands of vitamins. What was the other one I was thinking of? Well, Nordic Naturals is a good one for the omega-3s. I also have Nordic Naturals omega-3s in a liquid form. So that's a capsule form. I also have the liquid form. What I was finding is that I was not digesting the vegetable oil capsules very well on the omega-3s. So I went to a liquid. It's an 8-ounce jar of liquid vitamin 3 or omega-3. And just like our grandmothers told us, eat your cod liver oil. Well, we should be eating our cod liver oil because it has DHA in it. Okay, so I do have a magnesium and a B12 supplements. I will send that out to you, Ruth. I'll send you the link. Yes, so increase your magnesium, increase your B12. And that was the other thing, restless leg. A lot of my older clients have restless leg syndrome, and that is a vitamin B12 deficiency. It can be, it's not always, and sometimes it is, again, the electrolytes, the trace minerals that we're not getting from our foods anymore. So you got to add in those things for that restless leg. And I have also found that CBD helps, but it won't get rid of it unless we figure out the electrolyte and the vitamin B12. Okay. CBD can't do everything, and this endocannabinoid system won't do everything either. Okay. So sleep. I think that wraps it up. I had a lot there. I do want to show you one last thing, actually. This is a really nice technique to use at night. And it's called tapping. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with tapping, but tapping, or EFT, is where we tap on the different areas of our body to energize the nervous system. And at night, in the middle of the night, we're going to just do a very we're going to zero in on specific tapping points, and we're not going to do this one has 9 different points. I do an abbreviated tapping. So I will start with, and it's basically, you're kind of tapping, it's a light tap, but on the inside of the eye. You're going to tap the inside of the eye. You're going to tap the outside of the eye. You're going to tap underneath the eye, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, at the chin crease, and then at the top of the head. Because when you're sleeping, you don't want to do the collarbone or underneath the arm at the bra line. But I use this technique for soccer too. On my way to soccer, I do the whole thing. I say, I'm going to score a goal. I can't wait. This is going to be a really great game. I'm going to score a goal. This is a really great game. I'm going to score a goal. This is a really great game. I'm going to score a goal. This is a really great game, blah, 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 whatever else I want to say. And then on the top of the head, when we're sleeping, we're going to go through the tapping twice. And we're going to say, I know, I'm getting up again. It's the middle of the night. I know I get up all the time. I'm kind of tired of getting up all the time. Go to the outside of the eye, go to underneath the eye, go underneath the nose, and say, I'm really getting tired of waking up in the middle of the night. I don't know why I wake up in the middle of the night. Then the chin. I really don't know why I wake up in the middle of the night. I think I'd like to change me waking up in the middle of the night. And then you go back to the inside of the eye. It's okay to go to sleep. It's safe to go to sleep. I can go to sleep. Let's go to sleep. Body, let's go to sleep. It's time to go to sleep. And you just tap. And then you turn over, you do some diaphragmatic breathing, breathe in for 4 counts, breathe out for 5 counts. breathe, let your body breathe through your tummy, let your tummy expand. All of those breathing techniques also relax the nervous system. So that's my last tip I wanted to show you. And I think that's it. No other questions. You can email me at askgreenalley@gmail.com and go to greenalleycbd.com to order any of these products, to contact me as well and ask me for specific supplements that we haven't talked about. Okay, thank you so much and have a great day. Have a great week. Beat the heat and enjoy the sunshine. All right, take care.